Alright guys, here we're going to talk about the movie Buried Alive. This was from the May Horror Packs, and here we are to do a little conversation about it and review.
Was it in fact a movie? IMDb says TV miniseries. It's very hard to find this thing on IMDb,
I didn't look this up myself.
because of so many other things named Buried Alive or something like that.
I think I have a few DVDs in my collection called Buried Alive.
It's very difficult to zero in on this one. But yes, it was apparently 2 episodes that later must have been merged together to create a movie of a thing or whatever.
I guess that's the miniest of series when it's just 2 parts.
Is this real life?
All right, so let's do a quick no spoilers thing here.
Yes.
Would you recommend Buried Alive?
This movie sucks. No.
This movie is hot trash. It is poorly written. It is ill-conceived. It's filmed oddly. A lot of things don't make sense.
I think we should do this right now then before we get into spoilers.
Sure.
We made a movie a long time ago.
Yes.
And we know firsthand, like, I've been far too liberal, far too excessive. Every now and then I will throw something in when we talk about a movie where I say, this is not a real movie. This movie is sucks or whatever, right? This is actually not a real movie, though. This is on like a different level, and we've been on that level. We know what it's like.
Yeah. No, speaking from experience.
When the script says something and you read it, and then months later you're on the set and you're like, I told you we couldn't do this. What do you mean just film it anyway? We don't have it. There's no way to do this. And then you get all the way through, that's why we say not a real movie. Because a real movie, what happens? You like rewrite it, maybe on the day of. Maybe you do reshoots. Maybe you let me call a guy, we will get a set where we can do that. For now, let's film with safety, let's change something, let's do it, right?
Oh yeah.
When you're not a real movie though, you just film it anyway. And then you put it in the movie. You get all the way through editing and like the final draft, and it's just in the movie still. And you're like, but we don't have that. You can't have it if you don't have it.
But the flip side is we did cut things out.
I know.
We would we would get to a location and be like, all right, so this is our location. This is what the script says. Yeah, this can't happen. One particular instance was where a person stepped in a rope snare and was supposed to get shot up an elevator shaft. The elevator shaft only went up 1 floor, and it just wasn't a shaft, because when the elevator is up, the elevator is there, so you could go to the ceiling, but you can't go out. And we're like, all right, so cut.
Like, let's say your script says that the person's crawling through a vent and has like a Zippo lighter and it's like Die Hard or whatever, right? And then you get there and the vents are too small and no one can fit in them, and what are you gonna do, right? You have to figure something out. You can't just say, well, we have some cardboard, we can just make something, we'll just have it, well, I don't know.
Then someone burns alive in a cardboard fire mishap.
Or you just have someone
That's not from experience, that never happened to us.
Or you just have someone say like, he's in the vents! And then you just go like, what do you mean he's in the vents? Like, it makes no sense, and that's the not a real movie thing. That's what I'm talking about.
Or like another great one for not a real movie is if everybody in the movie is 17 years old. Playing like the father, playing the cop, playing like the high schoolers and the teachers. You're like, are all those college students? Because what's happening here?
Yeah. And people that can't act or don't act are just in there.
Yeah.
Doing stuff. Props are just supposed to be what they are, even though it doesn't work. Like, when
guns have orange tips or have no opening at the end, not a real movie.
Not a real movie. No, it's like an interesting thing to me, because I wonder, because our movie's available somewhere, I think, right? So it's not that hard to get a movie out there. But yeah, there's like a threshold below which you can't talk about it in the same way. Because for no money in one location with 1 or 2 actors, you can make something interesting.
Sure.
And it can be a real movie.
Yeah. Did you catch the budget on this guy?
I don't know.
No information, because
even IMDb is this ramshackle, like, crazy thing. There's no is there no trivia, or there's no forum? There's no posts. There's nothing about it.
So before we go any further, I would say this is certainly a bad movie. I would only recommend it if you're just want to watch some garbage with a friend. If a group, you're gonna rip on it. You're not gonna really pay attention. You're gonna eat popcorn and bullshit. This is fine. Having a girl over, you don't want to watch a movie? Perfect.
Almost not, though, because it's only an hour long. It's super short.
It is short, but
it's gonna be a weird.
If you're gonna watch trash, you want it to be short trash.
Yeah. But even just to underscore, there's no gratuitously amazing, gory death effect things. There's no like horn dog like TNA thing. Like there's no draw.
It has
here.
no appeal. Yeah, nothing.
Don't think that like, oh, they were just having fun and you guys are being too harsh. Like it's not even like fun. It's like
no. Parts
so-
angered me actively.
Okay.
I'm a guy that like A-list movies anger me when they do things that are dumb, and this is just like, well, we had a list of all the dumb things. That's the movie.
Basically.
Yeah.
So with that said, don't watch the movie. Watch the next few minutes of us tearing it to shreds.
Yes.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
So like the movie opens, or may not directly open because I probably burned lots of this out of my memory.
I have it in sequence if you care.
So like
yes.
the thing that my first memory of this is you have a guy who's like collecting this group of people,
Kidnapping people,
and he
yeah.
is a one-punch knockout master. Everybody he touches like bop, 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 bop. Out. Knock, boom, bop, got him. Bop, bop, bop. Every single person, like, I'll hit you with a wrench. Out. I slap you in the back of the head. Oh my God. Out. I give you a high five. Out. Like everything he did, he just knocked people out completely.
That's it? That's okay.
That's so annoying.
There was a point where he's holding like a tire iron and literally just kind of like pushed it on someone's
Yes!
head and like they fell down dead.
Anything he
Yes,
does.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
that's
like-
pretty good.
He's like, walking with his head down, see the guy on the street, high five, bro, out. And the guy just is gone. That doesn't happen, but it's an example of what would
That
happen
guy's kid
and totally fly.
in elementary school falls down on his desk.
Yeah.
It's amazing. He has the touch of death. So the
yeah, it's
one,
like Vulcan fucking like, oh, got him.
the one kind of good scene in the movie to me was the one long
I'm so
static.
waiting for this.
Yeah, the one long static shot when he kidnaps the girl.
Okay.
The other
The main girl?
like the friend that had the necklace or whatever.
Yeah,
And
yeah. She
it's
was
like
the main kidnapped girl,
it's
right?
like no,
No?
that's Becca you're talking about. This is Wiley. This is the girl who's in like
know
the
their names.
the girl who's in like the metal engine area. That fills up with water later.
Oh, okay.
That girl. Yeah. When he kidnaps her, it's like a fixed, almost like dashboard, like long shot, and you see them fight in the car, and she gets out, and then she runs, and he runs after her, and it's a nicely framed thing that kind of, as time goes on, the shot changes. Without the shot actually changing. That was the one shot in the whole movie that I liked.
Didn't impress me.
Yeah.
Why is he killing people now? It just doesn't make any sense.
Nothing. I'll go. I don't think anything. I don't think
Yeah.
anything impressed me in this.
I had to take a note of something just to be like, there has to be something positive to say about this.
So like I'm just watching this and I'm like, all right. So you see that they're all in different like coffins, like their own
They call
personal
them
prison
coffins.
things, like in Saw-esque torture chambers.
We should say like there's 5, I think, kids that
Yeah,
get
give or
kidnapped, right? That's our structure here. It's like a weblog of like a lady, girl, person, female person who's like, my friend, love interest got kidnapped, and so did other people, and I'm saving them. So it's like her going around investigating.
I need your help. This woman is missing. Her name is Sage Delavue. She's my friend.
Cutting between them in what they themselves refer to as coffins.
Please look in your coffin, okay? Look for anything that doesn't look normal.
They're in a box full of baby dolls.
Yeah, they're more or less coffins, like shitty torture device coffins.
Yeah.
But there's like a person who's like in just like bubble wrap.
Yep.
And there's another person who has like a helmet screwed to their head.
Think I'm gonna do this? Crazy, I can't please.
And I'm like, all right, it's all even. Like somebody is in like an electrocution chamber. and another one is in just like, you know, like a weird like metal grate thing, which later fills in with water. But at the time you're like, this is not even.
No.
Did you like? And I'm like, all right, did he hate some people more than others? Because it didn't seem like it was exactly geared evenly toward the ones he should hate the most.
They make that
it the worst.
They make that reference. She goes like, "Wait, I'm not buried. I can see sunlight whenever he comes and feeds me." And the other one goes,
Yes.
"He's feeding you?"
I'm above ground. I see sunlight when he tries to give me food.
He feeds you? Why does he like you? Why
Sage,
not me?
Sage, listen to me.
And all this stuff, this like weird thing. Yes, but it's not even. It doesn't make sense. You don't have a good sense of like space, and they don't even use like. Remember in this is a perfect comparison. Silence of the Lambs.
Sure.
When they go to the wrong house.
Same budget, right?
Yes, it's not fair to like directly compare it, but when you don't have a sense of the space and the relative stuff.
Well, because at times you don't know if they're talking to each other through holes in the wall or if they're just looking at cameras.
So
Are you there?
I saw outside. I saw outside.
So two of them, that's exactly what I mean. Two of them are talking through a hole because water starts coming in through that hole.
Yes.
Right?
Listen, oh shit! Why? I'm sorry, Gary!
Other ones
But
have.
also there's a camera.
Yeah.
So you're like, wait, what is happening here? Because at one point it looked like he moved the hole up and down.
Well, it says it was a crappy.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry, oh, Wiley, I'm sorry.
Okay.
But it made me think where I was like, oh, was this the hole and now the watertight bit is shut? I was like, am I inferring that? Because that would be better.
He moved the hole over the solid part so that now the water isn't getting in.
Yeah.
Again, you can use the lack of space and relative information to like trick your audience.
Sure.
Like
Saw has done this.
Later someone's digging and then they get there and that's not the place you as the audience thought was under there. That place is across town, right?
Yeah.
You do this sort of thing.
There's no one here, Jack. Clarice.
Your name is?
And that's not what's happening here. It just ends, and you don't know where they were or how it all worked together.
Three of the coffins are just in a junkyard, like shoddily, like just like you covered boxes with dirt. They're like above the ground. I'm like, wait a minute.
Following the conduit wire.
This way. Here.
Mel.
Where was that water coming from? What held it in there? Nothing about that looked airtight. What? Help me, I'm trapped too. And she's in bubble wrap. And I'm like,
well, she's not even laying down.
I think Sage may be right. There was a necklace in my coffin, but I knew I'd seen it, but I didn't know where from.
no, she's standing.
She's in a closet, basically. A closet full of bubble wrap.
And like doesn't tear down the bubble wrap till the end. Like, do you know how hot that would be?
Yeah, till like very
later on. And
later
you had
on.
the ability to tear it down, but just chose not to?
The whole time. And you find out through all these flashbacks. So I guess that's our third pillar.
But it's as if you never tried to get out at all.
No.
Like, almost none of them. Where I'm like,
we don't have a great sense of how long they've been like in these things.
Even if it's only been 3 hours, but it's clearly been over a day.
Yeah.
The standing girl should be like, I have blood clots. Oh,
I have blood clots. My feet hurt. Oh God.
or she would have just sat down. She had enough room.
You find out that he did like her.
Yeah.
And that's why he's not doing stuff to her. The third pillar are flashbacks to them crapping on this kid.
No, sit down. I'm not gonna do anything. Oh man, that looks pretty good. Let me get some of that. Let me ask you a question.
And how they don't know who the killer is, or who their
Who
suspect
would do this
should
to
be.
us? Yeah.
Who? Oh my God.
Who would do this?
I don't know.
They're like, Tommy, it can't be Tommy. He moved away mysteriously. Whatever this guy
They've
is.
just like
this
group
horrible
assaulted
thing.
this kid for their whole
Yeah.
lives.
A long time ago, yeah, we knew him. We were close, but then he got weird.
Exactly.
It's so terrible.
Did you guess the twist?
Yeah, I had an
too.
idea.
Yeah.
And just the thing I didn't get was I didn't picture him killing the crippled boy who shot himself in the face.
Breathing all right?
Yeah.
But I was like, well, the cameraman dude, like this guy is the bad guy. I'm like, that has to be it, right?
That's what I thought the whole time. So you're supposed to think. I took all these notes. I'm gonna make it worth it. I'm gonna explain the whole plot to these people.
Go ahead.
I don't because the whole time I'm taking notes. I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this. This is a waste of my time. But I took all these notes. Tommy is this boy who's getting like assaulted. It's not even teased. He's like getting assaulted by these people.
Yeah.
Who he later kidnaps. Melanie is this blonde girl who is dating the Asian girl of the history of this whole thing.
Call me later, Mel.
Sage, just... Travis, what the hell?
What? She's like looking to see, and somehow she has access. Someone sent me a link to a site where there's all these cameras of them kidnapped or whatever, right?
Why don't you guys send me a URL to this freaking creep's personal website? Okay, he's got these videos up of these kids trapped in boxes, and one of them's Sage.
And that's not like a, and I know I'm being like go to the police guy, but that's like, what do you mean? You're still like Hardy Boysing it. The whole time she's with her brother and they're like investigating it together, right? And you find out finally at the very end, the big twist is that the brother was actually the one.
And who are we?
This is my brother Travis.
Hey, I'm Travis. I'll be your cameraman.
Yeah.
So he was like jealous of that Tommy would meet his biological brother and then he'd stop being his best friend's fake brother, so he shoots him in the face.
He wants to meet me. Been too long, little bro. Be good to have you back.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Like, what was the reason for that? How'd that happen? Why did this happen? There's a part where like, oh, we gotta go save her. Oh, a train's coming. And then the train goes by and they start to cry. I'm like, did we establish the train kills her? Like, yes. Where was she? How did the train kill her? What is this?
So this was foreshadowing from 10 minutes ago. They were like, the coffin gets dragged onto the train tracks and like the train hits the coffin.
Where are you taking me?
And then what's her name? Sage dies. I know all these names. You don't know what this has done to me. This is horrible. Dies.
The problem of not showing any of that stuff, I was like, I don't even know if that's the same track. I don't know anything here. I just went, I guess the train killed her.
They didn't even show a box on the tracks. Like on like a different day or like different tracks even. They didn't even show like rubble or like the aftermath. The camera swings to like only show the reaction of our investigator lady, Melanie, Mel.
Now that's the best part about not a movie is when you're like, I don't even know what happened there.
That's what I'm saying.
You couldn't express it to me as an audience member.
It's not just like, oh, that was supposed to be her hand. That was like a party fair, prop hand. And it's like, there was literally nothing.
No.
You see one shot of her in the coffin and there's lights and it's like rattling and she's like, help, no, or whatever, right? With all the little doll heads and all that stuff. But that's like all of that, those like bed mattress spring things and all the doll heads, that all has to be like a big portable thing. They dragged onto train tracks so that the train could hit it. And he set up, like you said, like a jigsaw devil's bargain.
Yeah.
If you go for her, they'll both die. If you go for her, you can save her. Oh, it's like freaking thing. Like, and then they saved the other one anyway. Like there's nothing.
I'm like, what is even buried? What is the computer system even there for?
Becca was the only one that we can save.
Why is it the oldest thing? Why wires are going directly to your thing? Like, it just, so much of it felt so weird and cheap.
Right, exactly.
Like when they showed the 3 coffin burial mound tarp, whatever.
Matt, look at this. Matt, look. There's only 3 of them here.
I'm just like, what am I even looking at?
Why
would you even show this?
Exactly.
Like, is that just there and you're like, that kind of looks like that could be the thing? Let me just film that.
Yeah, there's other things you chose not to show because we didn't have it, but that was like, well, right.
Yeah.
Like the only way...
They're inches above the ground. Like...
The only way this whole thing could work is if you only had these people in these, and like only use like webcam footage of them in these coffins.
Which would have been the money way.
Yeah, and just like make that the whole thing.
Because the weird like lined interlaced video was creepy too. Like you could have done that, and I would have been like, okay, it's no problem. But the combination of doing that, talking through holes in the walls, doing this thing, I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
And the found footage aspect, because it isn't found really. It's just that you're like she's vlogging or it's webcams from the thing. If you had maybe leaned into that more and just constructed it all out of like a weird, make it like a weird creepypasta thing that you're seeing posts or doing something or whatever, and then at the end it turns out you are R.L. Stein the whole time.
Nah,
Like
instead that it's
right?
like, oh, how about we just do pointless twist after pointless twist just for the sake of twist? Because people are like, oh man, twists, this is nuts. I've never seen a twist. Like, who didn't know who the killer was? Nobody. and like,
even I knew, and I actively try not to predict the ending so I can enjoy it more. And it was like kind of shoved in my face.
But like, what was the motive? Like it was that he didn't want him to have a different best friend? Like,
yeah.
But
he gets a letter from Hayden, the guy who's later like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just at this car place.
A little girl like you and snooping around my shop.
You just won't answer my question.
I've got a lot of cars to work on.
You know a guy named Friend of Fred West?
Is that even a name?
yes,
Yeah.
but what I mean is,
and
what is the motive to kill everybody?
Yeah, to get revenge. I'm not here for that. What do you mean? I don't know.
To get revenge on the people that picked on him while he also picked on him. Like,
well, they had a special connection the whole time. I think they were cowards and like should have been like a gay love thing or something like that.
Yeah.
I was getting like vibes of that
like
or whatever.
yeah, a secret
Yeah.
like I couldn't let you know. Blah blah. But even then, it's like they seem very comfortable with homosexuality. The girls is
like it's
gay.
nothing, which is
like,
how it should be. Yeah.
So
I know,
like
exactly.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like why did they not do that?
It's almost the only way that makes sense, where he's crazy and he loved him, but he's like, ew, no, dude, gross. Like we're friends and all. As opposed to getting like a letter from his bio brother.
But then it's even weirder because like even if you wanted to be his lover, why would a brother coming in be like, he's probably not going to fall for him?
Well, you can't do both. You just have to be like he rejects him and then he shoots him in the face with that gun that he was too cowardly to use or whatever. And now he's like
so
here
dumb.
forever. I have him forever or whatever. Something. We're trying to rewrite something that isn't even a movie. It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Because you have to go back and change so many things.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's just twists for the sake of twists. Characters doing things just because like, oh, this would be a cool scene, but it's not a cool scene. So like, there's literally no reason for this to exist. Let's just kill it.
I will say that there was a part really early on. The intro is like just footage of like someone making these like coffin torture things.
Yeah.
So I kind of pictured the kind of movie that I'm pitching here, where you really just see weird, dark, obscured, shots, and I'm like, that's how you do a budget horror movie.
I don't know, but
is
from the
that
moment
or
you see
whatever.
doll heads and stuff, I'm like, all right, we're leaning into
I
something.
knew. But even
where do you even get that many doll heads? It had to be like at thrift shops and yard
Just
sales and like,
popping off
all right,
doll heads.
Got one because I need all these doll heads. Because then when she's laying in this coffin, she could barely see them. Perfect.
It's the money. And she's like a night vision thing or whatever. And when they were drilling the helmet into the guy's head, I was like, okay. This movie, has a certain thing, but then it never really gets that off the off the ground, off the airstrip, whatever. It
What
never
was
really
even the point of putting a
gets
camera
lift.
on his head? Like he's
Turned
in a
out
box.
to be almost nothing. Yeah, the movie feels like stuff is like cut or like missing or whatever, right? Because you see him throw the medicine, I guess, that he needs, and like then a syringe comes down the tube and like stabs him in the mouth.
Yeah, I was like, what am I even looking at?
And like, did they establish he was diabetic or like whatever his
Not
problem
well.
was? That's what I mean. Like, there's this weird thing where you even had flashbacks to pad the running time and like set up certain stuff. And if you set it up, we both missed it apparently.
Yeah.
Right. So that's just as good as not setting it
Flashbacks
up.
also
right?
filmed so poorly.
Well, this is the nicest gift anyone's ever given me. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Like the flashbacks look like the most B of B.
Found footage-y stuff. Yeah.
And not that the regular movie is just like, oh, it's got my stamp of approval, but like it's like, oh, we can barely do this. Let's do this part worse though.
Well, you have to make it visually distinct. So when your movie looks bad, you have to make the flashbacks look like they were on the HVC 1998 camcorder, digital 360p whatever camera.
And they scored.
They totally did. No, so I'm glad. I did not think you were gonna say, well, there was something there that because there's nothing there. So I'm glad that we're on the same page.
This was a brutal nightmare.
This was an easy one. I'm glad that it's not that long though.
Oh yeah, no, because it was a chore at this length.
Yeah.
I think I took like 3 breaks. I was like, oh, I'm hungry. Let me go eat something.
Oh,
all right, let me get back to it. And then like
this house could sure use a new coat of paint. Like,
then you like get like 10 more minutes into it. You're like, oh yeah, I think I'm a little thirsty. Probably having. Oh, it's only been 10 minutes. Oh my god. Like yeah, it was a chore.
It was. No, this is.
And like I watch a lot of chore movies. This was a chore.
I'm shocked that this was in the horror pack. I don't know how they pick who gets into be the horror pack.
What's free?
I went onto IMDb to try to see something, and I really couldn't. I may have missed something, like I said. Part of me was like, don't waste your time researching this movie. But the people involved, like the editor, the writer, the director guy, I didn't see too many other credits from them, or like the years were sparse. I don't know what they're up to, or what they're doing. I thought it might have been this was someone's original first, like we did something, and now they're doing something else.
I just picture it's a thing where like horror packs has to fill X amount of subs. They need this amount of things. Somebody contacts them. Hey, I can give you this many. They go, we'll give you $200, and they go, okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's that is the much more because I was hoping for something like, oh, this is the guy who later became the producer on this. He knows Eli Roth. He did this. Now he's doing that. And this was so many years back, but I didn't see anything like that to like save me from whatever. So no, this is a hard skip for me.
Oh yeah,
dog.
It's a must miss.
Must miss of the season.
All right, guys, so that's our thoughts on Buried Alive. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only us. Our expert staff opinions you can really trust. Come and browse our aisles for the movies that you love and know. Stop by Cannibal Video, yeah, Cannibal Video.
Hello? Are you watching me?
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.